clinic, so I'm just going to shoot my mouth off for a little bit. But first I want to say I am Randy J.R. Richmond. I work alone. I live alone in the mountains in Arizona, and I'm a human design analyst. I want to welcome everyone to the 25th anniversary of the human design system. How it began is really in my garage. I was thinking, doing lots, and I can remember. And you know, this is the first year. In a way, it's terribly sad. This is the first year Ra is not here physically. He's here in spirit. He's been nagging me, and one of the last conversations I had with him, he said, "This 25th anniversary, you better be there." I said, "Okay, I'm going to be there, don't worry." And he's not here. So, and he would think it was very funny that I'm standing here talking to you. Because anytime I would do that, he would send Jeev up with a note saying, "Why don't you shut up and let people ask questions?" And but he's not here, so too bad. And since you're in such a good mood, I said to Ambuja at the house, I said, "Thank God Ra isn't here. He would just ruin it for everyone, you know?" And because how he felt about things like the annual event, the Ibiza event. Going up to it, it was a love-hate relationship. See, because he wasn't a warm, fuzzy people person. Anyone here who's known him, I mean, you don't just walk up and go, "Hi, how's it going? What is human design? Very interesting. Get out of here. I'm smoking. Who is this?" And lost my train of thought because I was seeing him doing that. And so approaching it, because he would think about all the work, and this man worked, and he wasn't a generator. I'm a projector, I don't work. You know, I'm here to move flow, stuff like that, but not to actually do stuff like set up tables. But, so he would be approaching it thinking, God, all the work I have to do. I think especially when he did the 4 quarters of the profiling. You know, so it was like, wow, what I'm going to have to do to source all of this individual profiling quarter by quarter by quarter. It's like, now, if I'm sitting thinking about it, I just wouldn't do it. I would find some way to get out of it, or find someone to do it, or something like that. But this man showed up. I was amazed. I mean, all the classes I took with him, and it was like, he was there on time, he was there doing it, no notes, no nothing. That was my first impression. My first impression was, it all hangs together. He's just going. And then he would stop, and then he would start again, and go, and show up every day. And he might not feel good, or he might not. See, if I don't feel good, I'm thinking of ways to get out of it. I call, look, no, not him. So he would know just what it takes to do this. And then on top of that, there's all the logistics and the hotel and people, you people going, "My luggage, I didn't see my luggage, and where's my room? Hey, get away from me." You know? The other people go. And but then the event, see, because he pretended he didn't like people. And it was a pretense, because he really enjoyed people that were into human design, you know? That was his tribe. And I know this because I used to, when we did the events, and we did it at different venues, a villa once, the toilets didn't work, and then there's always something at these events. It just doesn't go. And so the first time I was driving him to this villa event, he said, "Okay, it starts at like 10 o'clock, but we have to leave at 8. What? At 10 o'clock, you know, I just, 2 minutes before I'm ready, I just walk out and I do it. No, 8 o'clock. Why? Because people will be there and they will have questions. And he wanted to answer the questions because they had questions and he had the answers, right? So it was like a satsang. And then during the breaks, that was sometimes the best times. People who know and went to classes and attended classes, it was like during the breaks where you could say, well, what did you mean by that when you said this? And how does that work? And how does this work? And he would, too bad the breaks weren't recorded, you know? But yeah, an incredible, incredible man. And I was thinking, 25 years, quarter of a century. It was a real milestone, I think, for him, you know, to think, wow, 25 years ago. And today, when I knew that I would be doing this, and what a disappointment I am next to, oh, here's, oh, look, oh, yeah, good. But no, that's not happening. So, but 25 years ago, here's the human design system, and we're celebrating the anniversary. 26 years ago, there was no human design system. And I was thinking, and anybody who does readings or analysis or talks to people about human design says, oh, it's just like astrology, right? And we go, I go, anyway, I don't know what you do. I say, yes, it's like, here's a golf cart and here's a Mercedes. Which would you like to go to work in? You know? Which would you like to use to understand what's going on? You can take the cart if you want. You can't fit all your stuff in the cart. Like, who is that, and why are we all screwed up, and why is he always scraping his toast, and he's... Well, let's see. It must be something with Jupiter or Neptune or something. I don't know. You know, so when you think about the human design, but it wasn't here 26 years ago. Astrology has been here for 3,000 or 4,000 years from the Chaldeans. And it wasn't one Chaldean in his cave figuring it out and then we have it. No, astrology is thousands of people dicking with it and screwing with it and changing it and doing this. Ptolemy then says, oh, the sun revolves around the earth, and oh, we carried that for 2,000 years. You know, it's all a bunch of interpretations and different things, and who said this and who said that, and what are you going to believe in what? So it's the product of many minds over 3,000 or 4,000 years. That's what just astrology. I'm not even talking about the I Ching. What is that relationship? And how many people must have decided that and figured it out, and what does it mean, and what do you use it for, and how does it work? 3,000, 4,000 years. The human design system is the product of one man, one person. He wasn't in a garage somewhere, you know? That's incredible. You know, that really is, to think he starts out here on this island. I mean, that's why we're meeting here. On this island, with one or two people, or whatever, whoever he talked to, whoever made him talk, because the process was not, 1987, here's the human design system, get my plane tickets, I'm going. No, it was like, oh, crap. Given who he was, what do I do with this? I won't tell anyone. I'll just know it. But that's not why he was given it. You know, try to go against your fate or your destiny. Try to insist that it's going this way. There's going to be a film. No, there's no film. Okay. Here's a whole crap load of information that's very important to people so they can understand themselves as individuals, not categories. 12 signs in the zodiac, how many incarnation crosses, how many profiles. What? Staggering. I'm a projector, I know this. I looked at it, I went, what? Where does it break down was my first thought. And what I'm going to have to do when I got involved with it 13 years ago maybe, I'm going to investigate it a little. I'm sure it's going to break down and then I'll go, aha! It doesn't work past this. I'm still doing that. And for those of you who don't know or haven't been involved in for a long time, He said it was a virus, and it takes 7 years to incubate in you. Right? And then what happens after 7 years? It keeps incubating, right? So what happens when you are into and studying and making human design a part of your consciousness, it's alive in you. Just like that one piece of paper. Everything you need to know is on one piece of paper. We were going to have a body graph, but we don't. So I'm going to pick up a body graph from here, from this woman. It's all on this piece of paper. Everything I tell someone, and they say, how long does a reading take? I say, about a week. Well, I can't afford that. I said, I know, you idiot. I'm going to tell you everything I can in an hour. Maybe an hour and a half if I'm in a good mood, if we have something happening. You know, if you really don't have any questions, it's over in half an hour, and get out of here, because your boyfriend wanted you to have a reading, or you know, those kind of readings. So it's all on one piece of paper, and it's made up of 64 numbered activations, you know, the whole body graph. You only have 26, right? But then you have these resonance lines. Oh, so what I tell people is, this is music. This is your sheet music to your personal song. These are the notes. You have 26 notes. They're played in one of 6 octaves. You need someone who knows how to read music to sing your song to you. And you'll recognize your song. If you don't recognize your song, you got the wrong sheet music here. Right? I remember doing a reading for a woman. She didn't identify with it. I said, what time were you born? Oh, she had given me the wrong time, 12 hours difference. I said, of course, here's your song. But we can do that. You can learn how to do this. It's a logical system. What logic is and a formula is transferable. You can pass it on. That's the great gift. That's the great thing about what we have. Now, to say it's the science of differentiation, it's all of these things, yes, maybe that's true. I don't make a lot of sense when I'm at sea level, so I won't even go into it. I'm a mountain person. I smoke, so I need very little oxygen. Down in this oxygen-dense place, my mind is like... I really tell people that as soon as I get off the plane here, my IQ drops 10 points. Right? But, see, because there are compensations, my EQ goes up 10. I become more sensitive, more magnetic, less electric. It's like, oh, I have a different rhythm here. And I had a nice connection to make with that. But I can't think of it right now. It would have really solved so many problems that people have. But I forgot it, you know? And fortunately for human design, everything that Ross said is on tape. See? That's another good reason it wasn't me, it was him. I can remember telling him, because the way the gods arrange your life and your fate. I get a human design reading. He sends me a tape. He happened to be in New Mexico. In 1998, something like that. He sends me a tape because a woman, Marianne Winninger, standing in the back, she had come over to my house to give me a reading. I had given her my birth data just to shut her up and get rid of her, because I've lived in Sedona a long time and every kind of Tinkerbell in the world is there. And I understand that if you don't just give people what they want, they don't leave you alone. So give them what they want and maybe they'll leave you alone. She didn't. She was very persistent. Generator. And she said, I have your chart, I'll come over. I said, okay, out again. Okay, come over, it'll be over, that'll be it. But But see, she wasn't some seasoned analyst coming over. She was a person who was studying it in the beginning too. And she had my chart and she had all the books. And she's telling me, look, and this and this. And I said, what is this? What is that? What does this mean? What? And I have it on tape. She's going, I don't know, leave me alone. You know? So the moral is, have a good analyst, okay? Marianne has improved greatly. If, in the last 13 years, she's gotten much better. But at the time, I wanted more information then. And she said, look, call New Mexico and maybe they can give you a reading or something. And I did, and Ra just happened to be there. And the person answering the phone said, well, Ra's here, and I'll give you a... Well, really? And only $350? What? But you know, when stuff is fired at you point blank, yes, no, what? I said, yes. Okay. Thank God. Thank God. Holy shit, I can't imagine what I would be thinking about now. Really. My greatest gratitude to Ra, every time I saw him, I told him, hey, would not live. Yeah. But every time I saw him, I made a point of telling him, thank you. You have given me something to think about for the rest of my life. Really. That's so important for someone who's designed like me, to not have something to think about, to focus and concentrate on, to see the patterns in, to have it reveal itself. And that's what I was talking about, the 7-year process, and then the 14th. This is alive. See? And that's what a virus is. And it incubates in you. It's not a bad thing. You don't need inoculations or anything. It incubates in you. So now, and Ra used to say it, each of us could write our own Ravi Chings based on our experience, based on what you're doing. Now, of course, I'm a projector, so I know so much more than generators and other people who are very busy and self-absorbed and, you know, things like that. So I'm telling you, in case you hadn't looked there, you go, oh, you know, I think there's more to this. So what it is, it wasn't just a revelation in 1987. It's an ongoing revelation, and the revelation is in each person who looks at it and studies it and understands it. Because I find myself moving and understanding how things work and seeing it as a more, each of us, we're here in our skin bags. We're not all these different elements. That's what astrology gives you, all these different elements. Okay, and then that's what that is. No, we're synthesized in who we are. So that our understanding of it, how I know it's real, is that it has this action. I mean, if you've ever had experiences, you drop acid, you understand everything, and the next morning it was, did I write that down? I've forgotten the meaning of life. See? That happened to me, and I thought, I know, I'll take more acid. That's what I'll do. And that's my solution for everything. Too much is always good. And so, 300 acid trips later, I was still forgetting the next day what the meaning of life was. So it's not an ongoing revelation. Those are events that you have. This is a process. Human design is a process. It's an ongoing revelation. When, you know, the first stories about, where did this come from? Oh, a man in a think, I heard a voice. I told her, I said, and I told them all this. I said, I don't tell people that. I tell them I thought it up. and they're satisfied with that, and then we can get on with the real work. And for some people, I say it's a genetic strategy or whatever, and I will need just a little bit of your hair. And then, now they think it's scientific. You know? You have to trick people into doing something that's really good. But I'm very well equipped to do that. I mean, I'm a great liar, 4426. It's for your own good. Okay. So here's the first year, I mean, without Ra's presence. And it isn't like, I mean, because I was feeling it, it was like, it's not like it's like some auras and things like that leave this heavy kind of thing, you know? His is very clean. You know, it's not, oh yes, I feel this presence. Look, on the shower curtain, you know, or a piece of toast. Look, it's a, you know. Now, there's people that have that kind of design, you know. So be nice to them. I've made it a point to try and be nicer to people who have Ra in their shower curtain. But I know that what he did and what he brought and what we continue to pass on, I mean, the benefit of understanding your personal consciousness, awareness, your vehicle, right? This is, to me, it's just awesome. It's mind-blowing. I still have great wonder about it. And because it is this revelation within you as an analyst or a student, it continues to grow and to whatever. I mean, people have I don't have these problems with, you know, there's somebody teaching it over here and it's the wrong stuff, or somebody is saying this over here. I don't care. I think, oh, good. They're working out there and people are hearing the word human design. And they have to use some kind of body graph, you know. And because, of course, they don't know what they're talking about, they're like Marianne going, well, I don't know, you just have to believe me on this. I don't want to believe you on that. I want some verification, empiricism through my own experience. Oh, you want the real human design system. That's us. See, that's why it'll all come back to us. We don't have to worry about any of these things. Now, I know there are people running businesses, they worry about these things. That's okay, I'm sorry. But I personally don't have a problem with it. And now, because when you look at that bulletin or whatever they made here, I did when I got here. Where is it? This. You're so helpful. Who is this person? Planted by God. Our schedule of lectures and workshops, which I only saw yesterday. And it says 9:30 to what? Is that 1 o'clock at night? I'm going to be talking? Now, I have a lot to say. But I need a cigarette. You know, when you get older, you really only have one important question. Where's the bathroom? After that, now we can relax. You know, you older people know this. And some of you people who aren't using your PHS probably know. And I know it just because I'm old. And, but anyway, I hope that just gives you a sense of my own appreciation and honoring. This 25th anniversary wasn't meant to be a tribute to Ra, to this one man. It's of course, because it is that. You know, because he isn't here. But his spirit, this essence, this design system.
He's calling.
Huh?
He's calling.
He's calling. Tell him no. Tell him I'm done when I'm done. Tell him I found his stash and I smoked it all.